Well, hello there. Welcome back to another Elden Ring build. And today, my fellow Tarnish, we're going to be taking a look at this God tier Lightning build for patch 1.07. You know why, guys? Because this is so OP. It destroys, it rocks, it deals a serious amount of damage. Is not only that, it also is fast, and it's just overall a crazy build that you guys will fall in love with. Because of patch 1.07, this OP incantations that I'm going to be showing you guys later on in the video are going to be making a huge change in what this God tier build is going to do to Melina, bosses, and anyone that gets in front of you. So if you like how that sounds, a like is much appreciated. And trust me, guys, when I say it is appreciated, it really is, because without you guys, listen to me, guys, without you guys hitting that like button, it really doesn't happen. Let's get started, and we're gonna be rocking with this God tier lightning build that overall it just has been optimized to deal the most amount of damage, and that is because of three different incantations that I'm going to be showing you guys later in the video. First of all, we are going to be using, as a second thing, the Bolt of Grand Sax, fully leveled up. Is going to be 240 physical and lightning, because we're going to be taking advantage of lightning. And as you guys see there, attributes requires are 20 for strength and dexterity for 40. And just to give you guys a heads up, that is what actually I'm going to be using in my character status. I'm not going to buff my dexterity or strength. And we are going to be taking advantage of the Gravel Stone Seal, fully leveled up, 285 incantation scaling. But the great thing about it is that it's going to boost our Dragon Call incantation, and the attributes it requires are faith, and that is the main thing we're going to be focusing on this. Those three incantations have become so much more OP, and with the fourth one that we have in this build, we're just going to be rocking, and anything that just gets in front of us, we're just going to strike it down. And we're going to be using the Erdtree helm, because this one's going to boost our faith by 2 points, and overall the armor just looks amazing. Just take a look. Don't I look amazing, guys? Look at this. Look at that. I am gold all over. Where you can get this, you guys can get this actually around here in the Lindell capital. Farm it, and you can also get this by the Erdtree all the way to the top right of this map. Now let me show you guys two different ways that you guys are going to be able to use this build. One is by using this weapon, the Bolt of Grand Sax, and these are the talismans that you guys need to use. We're going to be using is the Ritual Sword Talisman. This one's going to maximize your attack power when your HP is at a maximum to deal an additional 15%. And that is the great thing about this build, fellow Tarnish. We do not need to be close to our enemy or bosses to take care of them, because we're going to be using this. On top of this, we're going to be using the Phlox Canvas Talisman to greatly raise our potency of all our different 5 incantations that we're going to be using. I know I said 4, but the 5th one is going to be Golden Bow. But it just gets better after that, guys, because we're going to be using the Lightning Scorpion Charm, 12% for boosting our lightning attack, but it's going to give us a 10% of lowering our damage negation. You just have to be a little bit careful. But the great thing about this build is that we are offsetting that, because we do not need to be. We're kind of like Thor, guys. Think about it. Thor does not need to be in no one's face. He just uses the hammer or the axe, and boom, bada bing, bada boom, takes care of everyone. And then on top of this, we're going to be using the Shard of Alexander, greatly boosting our attack power by 15%. Now that I showed you guys the way to use this build with the weapon, now let me show you the other way, which is probably more fun and more potent, is by using just the incantations. and we're going to be using the following 4 talisman. One is going to be the Ritual Sword Talisman, the other one is going to be the Flux Canvas Talisman, which is going to raise the potency of our incantations, and then the Lightning Scorpion Charm, which is going to raise our lightning, and then the one that is going to change is the Godfrey icon. This one is going to enhance charge spells and skills, and if we do take a look at a legendary talisman depicting the Elden Lord Godfrey raises charge attack power of sorceries, incantations, and skills. And overall, guys, our 4 different incantations that we're using: the 40-sec Lightning Spear, the Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike, the Lightning Strike, and also the Lightning Spear. All those 4 incantations, that 3 of them got a huge buff. Now all those 4 getting tremendous amount of striking power by just using the Godfrey talisman. So that is the other way that you guys can use this build. Now this is where it starts getting even better. To boost our 4 different incantations that are going to be dealing just an insane amount of damage, we're going to be using the Lightning Shrouding Crack tier, which is going to boost our lightning attack for 3 minutes, dealing a tremendous amount of damage. And then the Faith Knot Crystal tier, which is going to boost our faith from 62 to 72 for 3 additional minutes. We are just going to be rocking and killing anything that gets in our way. So now let me show you guys the different incantations that we have in this build. First, we're going to be using the 40-sec Lightning Spear. This one here got a tremendous buff because of the following reason. It says decrease FP consumption, meaning that your guys are going to be able to spam that with less FP, and now it's going to increase stamina attack power against guarded enemies, meaning that we are going to be dealing more damage to whoever wants to take guard against us. They better not do that, because we're going to be dealing more damage. And then on top of this, we are going to be using the Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike, because you know why? Because it's probably the most OP incantation that you guys can use for lightning, that's going to delete anything that gets in your way. But if you guys use the different type of attributes that I'm going to be showing you guys later on, and also the different things in your flask, you guys are just going to be deleting and one-shotting anything that gets in your way. And then the next one is going to be the Lightning Strike. This one has been also buffed. What I like about this one is that I do not need to be close. Just look at the range of that thing. How far away you could be to actually deal damage. Now, the decrease of FP consumption allows us to pretty much just spam this a lot of different times until we take down anything that's in front of us. And the last one is probably one of my favorites, because not only does it use little bit of FP, but because of update 1.07, the increased attack power has been made. And because of update 1.07, the Lightning Spear has become very OP, because the attack power, when you guys fully charge this one, you guys are going to be dealing more damage. Of course, you can always spam it. Look how fast you are able to spam this. But if you charge this puppy even more, you guys are going to be dealing a huge amount of damage. Anything that gets in your way. So first of all, we're going to go through our sequence, which is you're going to do your flask, and then you're going to do Golden Bound. By just doing that, we're going to be increasing our power to deal a high amount of damage. And then after that, we have a couple of options. We can always use the following, which is probably one of my favorites. It has to be the 40-sec Lightning Spear. This thing here deals a huge amount of damage. Those two put together are going to be dealing close to 5,000 damage. And as you guys see here, I'm going to show you guys really quick with those foes up ahead. they deal so much damage that it just deletes anything. And I'm gonna delete those two put together at the same time. And just take a look at what the 40-sec Lightning Spear is able to do. It's such an amazing incantation, Lightning Incantations, that you can use for this build. And the next one is going to be the Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike. How I will use this one is by combining it with our weapon, which is the Bolt of Grandsack. What I will do is the following. I will use the Bolt Grandsack, and once I use that, and if the enemy is close by, that gives me enough time to be able to use this one, because what the weapon itself that is going to knock any boss, just about any boss, and of course any enemy in Elden Ring, and bring their health down to a level where you guys can use again the weapon and just bring them down to their knees. Yes, we're going to be using a lot of FP, but the great thing about this build is that we also have the Lightning Spear, that it consumes less FP, and we are going to be able to just spam this one and take down anything that gets in our way. Now, of course, in our build, we can always exchange the Ritual Sword Talisman with the following, which is going to allow us to save our FP consumption by 25%, and that is the Primal Glintstone Blade. If you guys don't have this, you can always go with the Carrion Felgrate Crest, which is going to allow you guys to save 10%. But if you guys have this one, the Primal Glintstone, I would rather go with that one, because you guys are going to be able to save more FP, meaning that you guys are going to be dealing more damage. So how do we make this possible, Tarnish? Vigor is going to be at 40, giving us enough HP to stay in the game. Mine is going to be at 30 to use all of our different incantations that are going to be dealing so much damage. Endurance is going to be at 22, enough to be able to use our armor and our weapon. And then strength and dexterity are going to be at minimum, just for us to use the bolt tax, which is going to be 20 for strength and 40 for dexterity. Intelligence is going to be at 7. Faith, of course, is going to be our number one at 62, because we're using the helm. And then on top of that, we're going to raise it to 72 once we use the Faith crack tier, allowing us to increase our power to deal a high amount of damage, because all of our incantations do scale by faith. So we need to make sure that our incantations are always dealing enough amount of damage. And then arcane is going to be a 9. So final thoughts, make sure you guys are always leveling up your faith. The higher you have it, the more damage you guys are going to be dealing. I would probably recommend to just keep your dexterity and your strength at minimum, just enough to use the Bolt of Grandsacks to help you guys, to aid you if you guys get in any trouble. But overall, you guys are going to be just untouchable, and you guys are going to be dealing so much damage that you're going to be feel so powerful, and you are going to be enjoying going through NG Plus by using this build, because it gives you different ways to be able to play the game. Once again, guys, thank you for watching. Also, don't forget to hit that like button, because it does help us out. And also, if you guys are new to the channel and you haven't hit that subscription button, why not? We got you guys covered with Elden Ring, Gotham Knights, which is about to be releasing, and also Cyberpunk 2077 and more gaming related videos. Once again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next Elden Ring build.